Hey you guys, and welcome to A Kinda Crafty Kinsey. Today we are going to make some large Valentine's Day wall decor. So let's go. So first off, we're going to start with these two larger signs from the Dollar Tree. Obviously these are from Christmas time, but right now they have them out for Valentine's Day with like the love going down the front, and then some of them say home. Those are actually nice because they are like indented on the front. These are just the plain flat MDF, and I was actually able to just go ahead and peel like the Santa paper right off the front, so I did not have to worry about trying to cover up the different colors of Santa. So that was really nice for once. But anyways, I just went ahead and peeled this off, and then I just used these jumbo craft sticks that I get from Walmart to attach my these two signs together. I love to use these to attach my larger pieces together like this because it has never failed me yet. They have all stayed together very well. Now you could definitely just use the ones from the Dollar Tree. You just might have to use a few more. But they're just a little over $2, I think, for a pack of like 45 at Walmart, and I'll link them below if I can, but they come in really handy. So after I got all my craft sticks attached, I just went ahead and flipped the sign over and gave it a good coat of the Nimbus by Waverly. This was my first time using it, and I was so excited with how pretty it is. I talked about it in a video prior to this, and I am obsessed. I love all the grays by Waverly, but this is by far my favorite for like this color scheme I have for Valentine's Day. It's just very soft and just, I don't know, I'm obsessed, you guys. So I gave it a good coat. I got pretty good full coverage, but I didn't really worry about if I missed a little bit here or there, and I did not do 2 coats because then I came in with a little bit of the white by Waverly and kind of like just streaked it around a little bit, and then I did the same thing with the steel by Waverly as well. I just really love what adding the white to kind of lighten it up in places, and then adding the steel to darken it up in places, and just kind of like no rhyme or reason, just going everywhere with it. I really like the dimension that it gave the sign. So then I went ahead and hit it with the heat gun very carefully, because when you have something attached with hot glue and you use the heat gun, you can like reactivate the hot glue and have a bit of a mess. So be careful when you do this. So then after I got that all nice and dry, then I went with my square that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I just drew some shiplap lines. A lot of the times when I do like a large vertical sign like this, I would have drew my lines like the way that the sign was going to go. You know what I mean? If it was gonna hang vertical, I would have drew my lines vertical. Or, you know, vice versa. If it was going to hang horizontal, I would have drew my lines horizontal. But today I decided to kind of go rogue, and it's going to hang vertical, and I drew the shiplap signs horizontal. So I thought it would be cool and just give it some more dimension. And I don't know. Let me know what you think. I just thought it would look kind of cool. But so then I just went ahead through the entire board and drew these lines with like a pretty gray color pencil that I got from the Dollar Tree. Not the Dollar Tree, Dollar General. They are awesome. I hauled them in my Dollar General haul a while back. I'll link that video below for you. I absolutely love them. So then after I got those all drawn, as you can see, I just went ahead and did some distressing with some sandpaper all over the board. Now you guys, I got this mason jar cut out from Amazon a while back. I think I got like 6 in a pack for some odd dollars. Now you can get the mason jar signs over the summer or in the fall from the Dollar Tree. I do have a couple of them, but I thought it was going to be too big. So I will link these as, of course, but you definitely could use the Dollar Tree one, or honestly, you could draw it. I've drawn mason jars before. They're really simple. Or you could even use the mason jar, like thicker block style sign. It's actually like a table decor piece that you can get from the Dollar Tree. They usually have them out with like all the seasons. I got some at Christmas time, I think was the last time I picked them up. And sometimes you can find them like in their regular home decor. But anything you want. But any way you want to make a mason jar on this, if you want to, that's all I did. Because my kitchen, even my dining room, is very mason jarry. I have a very mason jarry. I have a lot of mason jar decor. Anyways, okay, so after I painted that, I gave it 2 coats of the Waverly in the white, and then I went ahead with that same color pencil that I got from Dollar General, and as you can see, I just went ahead and sketched out like on the top, like kind of what I wanted my jar lid to look like, and then I gave it like a little bit of depth and, extra, whatever you want to say, on the jar. This is another reason that I absolutely love working with chalk paint, because if you are working with a pencil, and as you can see this is a color pencil, and you make a mistake, it erases so easily and it does not mess up your paint at all. So that's just a little tidbit of information for you about chalk paint. Then I just went in with my paint marker that I got. I got these from Amazon, you guys, and they are always linked below for you in my description box. And I just went ahead and traced over all of my pencil lines that I had drawn. So then I went ahead and at the bottom of the jar, I drew this little, like the little circle to kind of make it look, 3D, like the bottom of a mason jar. But I didn't know if I was going to commit yet, so I didn't trace over it with my paint marker. So then I just took some of the Waverly steel chalk paint and just went through and kind of filled in a little bit, very lightly, as you can see, more so like dry brushed over the top of the mason jar lid, because I definitely still wanted to keep that dimension of the darker lines with the paint marker. So I really like the way this turned out. Let me know what you think below though. And then I finally committed and went ahead and traced over it with the paint marker. And everybody always asks me, why do I do it like sketchy like that? Why don't I just draw a solid line? And I don't know why. I think it's just my style. I couldn't really tell you. So anyways, as you can see, I went ahead and sanded over it, and then I grabbed some of these little hearts from the Dollar Tree and some of my pink paint from Walmart, the acrylic paint. It is actually cameo pink and light pink, and then some white chalk paint. And then I just grabbed a bunch of the little hearts that all had that like little hook. I don't know, what do you call that, you guys? They kind of got a little fancy at the bottom. They weren't just straight hearts. So I grabbed those and I painted a bunch of these. Now I do not use all of these on the jar, but I knew I was going to use these in some other projects I was working on, so I just went ahead and painted them all in this light pink color while I was at it. So then I decided that my jar was a little bit too stark white. So I went ahead and started to dry brush over the jar, but then I thought for a minute, wait a second, I want the lid to stand out. You know what I mean? I don't want the lid to blend in with the jar, and if I dry brush really heavily over the jar, it's going to blend in. I wanted you to be able to see the different depth of the colors to be able to really see that that's a lid. You know what I'm trying to say, you guys. So you can see what I did. I just kind of darkened up my lid a little bit, a couple spots here and there. I went a little heavier with it, and then that way the dry brushing that I did on the jar it didn't blend in. It didn't look like it was all dry brush. You understand. You guys get it. So after I did that, then I was deciding where and how I was going to attach my mason jar to my sign. So I knew that I wanted this to be like a 3D. So I went ahead and used some of these tumbling tower blocks and just glued them down on the back of the jar, and then went ahead and attached it to the sign.
With you everything's complete. Do you know how much I love you? I put your favorite song on just to wake you up. When I dance around, I can't help but feeling.
So then I just took some of this really pretty light pink garland from Hobby Lobby and kind of wound it together like that, and then attached it to the front of the jar, like, you know, kind of like what it would look like around between the lid and the jar. They have all kinds of colors of this, you guys. When I got mine, when I ordered it, they only had it in the pink and the cream, and I didn't need the cream at that point, so I skipped out on it, and I'm kind of kicking myself, but I'm seeing that more colors are popping up. So I think I need to place another Hobby Lobby order, guys. I don't know. What do you think? So anyways, I just took some of this pretty white and pink gingham ribbon. This is a really light baby pink. It's so pretty. And I'm just going to make a simple bow. But as you can see, that little berry in the front was kind of broke, and it was driving me nuts. So I cut it off, and then I just grabbed another little piece of twine and cut off a berry, and then just like replaced it. It was really bugging me that that little broke berry was like front and center, and I just couldn't handle it, so I had to replace it. But then I just took that bow, tied it up really simply, and just attached it to the garland.
you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking?
So now I'm going to attach my little hearts, and like I always say, I tend to do things in threes, and like I said before, I think it's because I have 3 daughters, so my brain is just kind of wired to do things in threes because you never want to leave anyone out. So of course I had to do some stitching on this. You guys should have already known. And I just took my dark gray paint marker and put little stitching around those adorable little hearts and then just attached them to the mason jar.
I lose my breath whenever I see you. You stole my heart, what is it that you do? My life was great till you added colors. Like the moon needs the sun, we don't care about the others. You set my world on fire. You're my heart's desire. I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Please tell me.
So all of this floral that you see right here all came from Dollar Tree, you guys. I am blown away by their spring collection right now. I am absolutely in love, not only with how pretty their flowers are and how realistic they look, but look at that greenery. If that is not like such beautiful faux boxwood, I don't know. It comes off of a wildflower pick is what it's called. But I've kind of learned that Dollar Tree, I think they just like to name their flowers whatever they want. But anyways, I just love that greenery. I'm obsessed with it. I absolutely love it. I bought so much greenery and floral picks, actually. I bought so much floral picks the last time I went to the Dollar Tree. People looked at me really strange. But I don't really care. So anyways, I was just playing around and trying to decide what flowers I wanted to put in. And I decided that those little like daisies were too big. So I stuck with the pink wildflower bunch. And then I just used some of that like little greenery off of them. And as you can see, I just played around to see how I liked it and where I liked it. But if you wondered why I was keeping the jar like a 3D effect, this is why. That way I could tuck the greenery in behind here. I did something very similar to this for fall. I made a mason jar and then I took cotton and lamb's ear and it turned out really pretty and I really liked it. So I was really excited to do it for like Valentine's Day and like spring. Like I said earlier, you could definitely incorporate this into like your Easter and spring decor as well. Granted, there are hearts on the jar, so what? I mean, we love all year round, you know what I mean? Like, I don't see hearts and think Valentine's Day. And I know I probably said that before, but that's what I'm really excited about. A good bit of my decor I made so you could use it, like, throughout the year, not just for Valentine's Day. Which I think is really fun. So anyways, then I just committed to where I wanted to put my flowers and my greenery, and I just gave it a little bit of hot glue, that way they wouldn't like kind of fall through or fall to the side after I hung the sign up, and just attach them down inside the jar. So as you guys can see, there is a lot of space between like the top of where the flowers go and then like the top of the sign. And I think in my mind, when I used this large of a sign, I was thinking about having larger floral pieces, but I just wasn't liking this. I mean, I kept looking at it, I kept trying different words, letters, and everything, and I just didn't like it. I did not want any words on this. It just wasn't, I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. I thought it was beautiful all on its own. So I just took this saw thingy jigger. I don't know what it's called, you guys. My husband hands me a power tool and says, here, this will work. And of course, he was standing right there beside me the whole time I was doing it because he doesn't trust me with power tools. But he said that this is something that I could use, that I would most likely not cut my finger off doing it, because it's the vibration of the little saw that actually does the cutting and not so much of a blade. So okay. So I just went ahead and cut it and then sanded the edge, you know, so it didn't look so rough, and it looked really nice and distressed actually. And I loved this sign so much more after I did that. I was so glad that I went ahead and just used the tool and chopped it off instead of just kind of going the more, I don't know, I don't want to say lazy route, maybe more of the safe route to me than using a power tool and just putting a word on there, because I just wasn't feeling it. So I'm so glad that I did that. And then I just went ahead and used some of this nautical rope from the Dollar Tree and made a little hanger. And then that is going to be it for this, you guys. Now, make sure you stay till the end when I do my final reveal. I know I show you just a little tidbit of what it looks like at the end right here, but I will show you much more at the end, so stay tuned, you guys. Okay, so next we are going to take one of these little Valentine's Day signs, of course from the Dollar Tree, and we are just going to get rid of that twine. Now I do keep that because I always end up reusing my twine that I take off of these signs. And then I just sanded the glitter off. Oh my gosh, the glitter, you guys. I look like a little pixie fairy after this because I sanded so much glitter on this day. But anyway, so after I got that all off, I just went ahead and used one coat of the white chalk paint, because I am actually going to lay one of those calendar pages down over this. So I wasn't necessarily trying to cover up the picture that's on it like perfectly. I was just trying to kind of like tone down the red and the gold. So I recommend doing that when you are using these. Now you could easily just flip it over and go ahead and Mod Podge or glue down your calendar page or even your scrapbook paper to the other side, but I really like to challenge myself in covering up the front side. That way the back side is always like a finished look versus like attaching the craft paper to it. So that's why I do all the sanding, and that's why I do that. I used to just flip them over and use the back, but I don't know, I'm just really liking this way better. But to each their own, you know, whatever you want to do. It is your DIYs, guys. So then I just grabbed these two calendars that I had from the Dollar Tree. They are absolutely adorable. I've been loving using them. So I snagged the love from the Be Brave calendar, the February love picture, and then the Simply Blessed. It had a really pretty like love wreath. You guys have probably seen these calendars. They're like the infamous Dollar Tree calendars. Oh my goodness. People were like selling their kidneys and their firstborn for these things. So anyways, I just did those. So we're going to start off with that one right there. I wasn't quite sure if I was going to use the second one, but I actually do end up using it in the next project. So all we're going to do, really, really simple, just Mod Podge it down. I always have a little bit of a roll with my Mod Podge. Mod Podge the sign, then lay it down, let it dry 10 minutes, then Mod Podge over the top, then let it dry for a couple hours, come back after it's completely dry, and then sand off your paper. I still get wrinkles. I know a lot of people hate wrinkles, and that's why a lot of people break up with Mod Podge, but I just love working with Mod Podge. I don't mind the wrinkles. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. To me, it makes the sign look more rustic and homemade. And I've told you guys before, I love my stuff to look homemade, not sloppy homemade, but nice homemade. So anyways, that's just me. I don't know. I'm weird though, but so that's all we're doing here. Now after that, like I said, after I let that sit for a while, and really it was like hours and hours later because I was doing a lot of signs this day, then I came back and just sanded the sides off. So then I decided to try out my little roller cutter that I got from the Dollar Tree. I haven't had a chance to try it on fabric yet, but that will be coming very, very soon. But so as I just sanded, and like the pieces that didn't want to come off super easily, I just sanded, and then I took the little roller and cut them off. And I have to say, for $1 and for cutting paper, it works really, really well. As long as we had each other, everything was black and white. So then I just went ahead and used some of this nautical rope from the Dollar Tree to go ahead and frame this sign in. I really like to use twine and rope like this as a framing piece because I really feel like it gives it like a more of a rustic farmhouse or rustic country kind of look. And I love the way like the brown looks against the gray and the green, and yes, I did just burn myself, and then the pink and the white. I think it just, I don't know, I love the different like flow of the colors. I just think it's really pretty. So I just went ahead and framed the entire sign in with the rope. I will not let us fade away. It's not a price I wanna pay, and it's not too late. No, we lost our purpose, chasing all that surplus. You were all that I need. I feel that we can break free. We can still... So then I just used the rest of the nautical rope and made a little hanger so you could hang it up on the wall. You might be able to hear my precious little Renna throwing a toddler temper tantrum because she can't hang out with mommy right now because mommy is talking to you guys. So anyways, yeah, and I know this looks like hot glue galore, but when your rope is this thick like this, it's really hard to get like a craft stick to secure it with, you know what I mean? Like, so I found that this works just fine. So then I took some of this really pretty ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby, and it's kind of like a mix between white and gray. It's not quite white, it's not quite gray. It even has like the lightest tinge of pink in it if you look at it. So I'm not really sure what color this is supposed to be and why I got it. I have to look back at my Hobby Lobby order and see exactly what color this is supposed to be and let you guys know. But like I said, it works with a lot of my decor because it's like, I don't know. It's a different, I don't know what it is. It's almost like chameleon, like it like blends in with whatever piece I want it to work on. Like you see, I don't know. But I went ahead and just put the bow right there on the top to kind of hide where the two ropes met, or the two pieces of rope met, you know what I mean? And then that was that. So simple. Then I took some of this, a pretty like pinky ribbon. This is like the silk ribbon that they have, the Dollar Tree has like in their floral section, I think all year round. I've seen it a couple times. And I just went ahead and grabbed it recently because I thought, oh yeah, I could use some pink. So then I just made a simple little shoelace bow and then just attached it to the top of the burlappy bow, whatever. And then I just trimmed up the tails so they would be the same length as the other bow. And I think that this sign turned out adorable. You guys will have to let me know what you think in the comments. Now we're just going to take this square fall sign from the Dollar Tree and sand until our arm falls off to get all of this glitter off of it. And then we're going to use that other calendar page that I pulled out a little bit ago and attach it to this sign. Now, I don't know why I decided to use, still sanding though, look at that, oh my goodness. Don't know why I decided to use Nimbus to cover up, or to give it the one coat like I like to do in between, you know what I mean. I think it was because I was just too lazy to go get more white paint because I was really about to run out, and Nimbus was right there. I'm not really sure, but we'll just go with that. So after that dried, then I just threw a little bit of Mod Podge on it, and you know, same steps as before. Mod Podge the board and lay the calendar page down, yada yada yada. But you guys, I think it is so awesome that you can go and get just a dollar MDF style sign from the Dollar Tree or Dollar General or even Family Dollar, or you could get an inexpensive one from Walmart or just do some scrap wood, whatever, and take a page out of a calendar and make a pretty sign out of it. I mean, I think it is so cool and it's so inexpensive that it should probably be illegal. It's just that awesome, but I don't know, that's just me. Now you'll probably just notice that your girl broke her own rule of letting the Mod Podge sit for 10 to 15 minutes, then apply the top coat, and then let it sit for a few hours to dry. And I did this on purpose because I wanted to see, does it really make a difference if I wait the 10 minutes with the calendar pages, because they wrinkle anyway. I have learned with scrapbook paper that if you Mod Podge it, let it sit 10 to 15 minutes, then Mod Podge the top, it will not wrinkle. But you guys, the verdict says that whether you wait the 10 minutes or so before applying the top coat of Mod Podge, or you go ahead and Mod Podge right away, it still wrinkles the same. So that's my very scientific research that I did for you guys. So anyways, okay, moving on. So then I did use some of my jumbo craft sticks to frame this in, and all I'm doing is a very high-tech way of measuring and just drawing a line on it with a Sharpie on where I wanted to cut it. And I promise it will work the same whether you use a ruler and mark it or you just measure it with another craft stick. So I did this, I needed a total of 8 craft sticks, so I did it with the 4 that would be the longer ones, and then the 4 like little shorter pieces that you'll see how it pieces together. But then I just took some of my truffle chalk paint and just mixed it with a little bit of white just to kind of lighten it up a little bit, and then I went ahead and painted all of these craft sticks.
Sleep with the doors unlocked.
So after they were all good and painted and dried, I just went ahead and started placing them around the sign the way that I was going to attach them to make sure everything fit and everything worked before I went ahead and glued them down. Then I just took my brush that had a little bit of the nimbus in it still, and I just went around the edges of the frame and just dry brushed a little bit over top to kind of give it that little, you know, a little distressy look and kind of break up the dark brown. This is where I say this ribbon is like a chameleon. You saw me just put it on a gray backing calendar page with pink and green and white picture on it. And now I am using it on a, as you can see, it's kind of like a beigey background color with a lot of brown, different dimensions of like brown and beige, and it matches perfectly fine. This is where this ribbon is crazy, but I'm not complaining, but I absolutely love it. So I'm definitely going to find out the color of it for you guys, and I'll either insert it in the video or in the description box. But I just went ahead and attached this sign to the corner. I was going to do it on the middle of the top, but I didn't want to cover up too much of the word, so I decided just to put it up in the corner like so. And then I wanted to add a little bit more to this bow, so I decided to dig through my ridiculously large bin of buttons and pulled out a button for it that I thought matched really, really good. I picked like a brown one, you'll see here in a second. There we go. And then I got a little extra. My mom would be so proud of me. Whenever I attach buttons to stuff, she's always like, why don't you put the stitching inside the button? And I'm like, well, I don't know. So I decided to go for it, and I did, and it was super easy. I just took some of that jute twine that you guys can see there, and I just, you know, threaded it into the button and then just tied it into a knot in the back. Now, if this was a tinier button, it probably wouldn't work this easily. You might have to use a needle, but it in like a thinner thread, obviously, but this worked perfectly fine for this, and I thought it made everything match and look so good together. So this next project, you guys, this is actually old paneling that we had used in our dining room, and we had some left over, and my husband thought it would be really cool to surprise me and take one of those Dollar Tree hearts that I have. I only got a couple, and I was kind of bummed that I'd only gotten a couple and I couldn't find any more, and he anyway surprised me and took it and made me a couple heart cutouts like this that I could work with and use. And I really, really loved them because, as you can see, like, you know, the paneling, it already has like the indentations in it, so it was really fun to work with this. Now, you guys, you could easily just take those two Dollar Tree heart signs and just attach them together, or you could use just one. You don't even have to use two. I just wanted something larger, and this definitely worked out so perfect for this. But anyways, so all I did, as you can see, they were already white because the paneling was white. Actually, it was just primed white. It wasn't even painted white. It's just the primer. And then I just painted over top of it with some nimbus. I did give it 2 coats just because I wanted it to look, I wanted it to match everything else. You know what I mean? Like I did give it 2 coats just to make sure it was like a nice, good, full coverage. So after I did that, and let that dry for a little bit, I took one of these Dollar Tree little palette boxes and some of that Waverly elephant chalk paint, and you'll see how I paint this box. I just use one of my distressing brushes, and I don't worry about giving it a full coverage. I do like that little bit of wood shining through, and I thought that it would be like perfect rustic look for this on this piece. So that's all I did with this, was just go ahead and give it like a good little coat of the elephant chalk paint. Then look at this, your girl got some floral foam. I'm moving up in the world. I'm getting my stuff together over here. Look at me go. So let me tell you, it is so much easier working with floral foam than styrofoam when you're putting floral pieces in. But as you can see, we are going to make a cute little like hanging planter sign. So I just put some floral foam down into the little box, and then I'm just going to attach the little box to the center of the hearts the best that I could eyeball, because I like swear I refuse to measure. It drives my husband insane, but I don't know. I rarely measure stuff, and most of the time it works out okay. But then I did take some of that elephant chalk paint, and as you can see, I went around and kind of just distressed. No, you guys. Yes, it was elephant. I was gonna say, no, I lied to you. That was truffle, but no, I'm sorry. That was elephant. Scratch that. It was the gray, and as you can see, I just distressed around the edges and then like the little indentation. Oh, it looks so good, you guys. I love it. Anyways, more florals from the Dollar Tree. Look at that amazingness. Now, I am going to tell you that greenery right there that I'm cutting, that is not from the Dollar Tree. That was a little piece of leftover boxwood that I had from JoAnn Fabrics. But as you can see, it looks just as good as the Dollar Tree. I just kind of like the color a little bit better for some reason. So then I just played around with these pretty little white flowers, and I didn't do pink because I knew I was going to have to glue some stuff down. And I did not want to have to commit to pink, because this is definitely something you could leave up all like spring and summer. I think it's really, really pretty, and I absolutely love it. But that's why I did not use pink. So I kept it very neutral. So I did use glue, which I never usually use in my floral pieces because, like I said, I don't like to commit 100%. I like to be able to change things out. But I knew I was going to use this moss. It just says floral moss. I'm not quite sure if it's a particular kind of moss. It's from the Dollar Tree. It's messy as heck, but it is so pretty and soft, and I really love the color of it. And I did glue it down. That way it wouldn't go, fall everywhere. So then after I glued it down, then I just attached my florals back into it.
So small, watch the clock ticking off the wall, but tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive.
So then an hour and a half later, when my asymmetrical brain finally got all that floral arranging perfect, I just took some more of this nautical rope and attached another little wall hanger.
Drive a faster car. Lay my troubles.
Now y'all should have known that this project wasn't going to get away without a button or a bow. So all I did here was just take some of these different color twines that I have. I had like this gray color and then the white and then some of the natural jute color, and I just made a little twine bow wrapped around my hand. Very, very simple, and then just pulled it off and just tied it with some twine in the middle. I'm going to do a tutorial video for everybody on the tassels. I've had a lot of requests for that I talked to you guys about when I made the Valentine's Day beaded garland with the tassel. So I am going to do that, and I will show you guys how to make this little bow on that same tutorial. So anyways, as you can see, I just attached it to the front of a little basket, and it looks so cute. I love it, love it, love it. But of course, I had to add a little bit more to those hearts because I'm just so extra like that. So I went around with that dark gray paint marker. It really reminds you of kind of like the elephant gray color. It's really pretty. It matches so perfectly. And then I just put stitching all the way around. But you guys, I am so in love with this sign. I love it that it's completely homemade from scratch. Like, we used old paneling, you know, for the hearts, and it was so cheap. Like, literally, what did that cost me? $1 for the box? I mean, it's insane how cheap and easy this was to make, and it is so, so pretty, you guys. This is definitely one of my favorites, if not the favorite in this video. Normally, I can't pick a favorite, but this was definitely one of them, and I absolutely love it. But let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinions, as always. Okay guys, this is the last one for today, and if you are still with me, please give this video a big thumbs up because you are awesome and I love that you are here, and I appreciate you so, so much. But for this project, all I did was take this over glittered heart from the Dollar Tree. I love it because it kind of has like that panel look. That's not the right word. What's that right? Palette look. And I know you can get hearts like this already, like natural. You don't have to glitter and remove and everything. I just couldn't find them. So I got a couple of these, and all I decided to do was just remove that ribbon and then go ahead and attach popsicle sticks, craft sticks, whatever. I got these from the Dollar Tree. These are like the medium-sized ones. So I just went ahead and put those down, as you can see what I'm doing here. To make it look like it's on like that palette. So I thought it worked out pretty good for not being able to do those, get one of those palette hearts that I absolutely adored. And they have them where they run vertical and horizontal, but like I said, I couldn't find them. And like, you know, I'm finishing up my Valentine's Day decor. I think I only have like 2 videos after this gonna come out that are Valentine's Day, 1 or 2. There might only be 1. I can't remember. But anyways, look at that. It worked out fine. Now, I do recommend that do not rip off both sides. You know, like do what I did, where I did one at a time. That way you can keep everything spaced very evenly and stuff doesn't like go wonky, because that would probably happen to me, and then I'd have to like measure and get scientific, and we know how I feel about that. But anyways, as you can see, simple popsicle sticks on the back, and you still get that palette looking sign. So then I took some of this very thickened up acrylic pink paint mixed with my white chalk paint that had sat for quite a while, and like I said, it was very thick, but it really worked out nicely because usually acrylic paint is really thin. So this kind of turned really like chalky thick on me. I did end up mixing in a little bit more white to kind of get a little bit nicer, like smoother coverage with it. But it worked out nice. I didn't have to put a ton of coats on like you usually do with acrylic to get the full coverage. Then on the middle slat, I chose to just do regular white. And then on the second to the, or like the third one down, I chose to just do another like little pretty pink color. And then the bottom little tip of the heart, I used some Nimbus. Now what's crazy is like the Nimbus, it took me 2 or 3 coats to get full coverage and cover up that on there. So that was I thought that was kind of funny. But anyways, I love the way it turned out. I was definitely going for like, not necessarily an ombre look, but I love how like the pinks were different, and then it was white, and then the Nimbus. And this is definitely this sign here, and then the one you just saw with the little planner. If they're not tied for first, they're on a close first and second, and I just can't quite figure out who's first or second. So you guys will have to help me out with that in the comments. But I think this turned out really adorable in the end. There was a slight hiccup, but I will show you how we got over that real quick. Then I did take some of my elephant chalk paint and went ahead and painted where you could see like that little bit of popsicle stick shining through. I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to leave it the natural tan look or if I wanted to paint it to like match the rest of the palette, or the heart I should say. And I decided to go ahead and paint it the gray. That way everything, all the colors coincided together, and I really like the way it turned out. Now I did want to say, you guys, I know this is a longer video, and like I said, if you've made it this far with me, please give it a thumbs up because you are awesome. And I tried to edit out as much as I could. I actually had another sign that I removed from this, but I didn't want to take out any more because I really love the way all these signs turned out, and I definitely wanted you guys to see and get some big inspiration from these. You guys have been amazing. My channel has really grown a lot in the past couple weeks, and I'm so excited and so happy to announce that I have went over 1,000 subscribers. So I am just 100% elated and just like on cloud 9 over that. You guys are so amazing. I never thought in my life that I would ever craft, let alone be on YouTube and actually show my crafts and people enjoy them. So I am so flattered and so overwhelmed with like all of like the happy vibes, and just I'm so excited, you guys. But anyways, let me explain to you what I'm doing, So I took some of the elephant gray and went ahead and went around the heart and edged it really heavily around the edge. You know what I mean. I distressed it heavily around the edge. There we go. And then very lightly in the middle. Now you guys probably saw that when I did that, it made the letters from the original sign pop out. So I thought, oh no, and I literally turned off the camera and probably took a while to really figure out what I was going to do, because my original plan for this, I had to really shift gears. But what I ended up doing is just taking some of these sticker letters that I had gotten from the Dollar General a little while back. They are in one of my haul videos. I think it's the same one as the pencils, and I will try to link that for you. If it's not the same one, I'll link it. I'll link the different one. But I did measure, as you could see, because I wanted my letters to not look wonky. So I just put you and me, as you can see, just really simply on the heart. Originally, this is not where I was going to put my wording, but I was doing my best to try to figure out how I was going to attach a bow and any embellishments and lettering to cover up that lettering across the top that you can see coming through from the original sign. So then I took some of this dark gray ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I just made like, I call it a double bow. It's where you take like 2 pieces of the bow, like as you can see that I normally do, and then just attach the tail. Well, I just did that 2 times, attached those together, and just kind of pushed them all together, and then tied, or then just attached the little tail to both of those, and then tied them up with some twine. You guys, it's super, super simple. I've come a long way making my bows, so if you're having trouble with bows, do not get down on yourself at all. I literally started from not knowing how to make a bow at all to needing to use hot glue to attach the little pieces of fabric together to here we are. I don't even need to use any glue at all. So just if you're a beginner with crafting, I promise you, keep practicing, you will get better. So then I thought, okay, after my letters are attached, if I attach this bow just right, I'm going to be able to cover up that lettering from the original sign coming through. And that's exactly what I was able to accomplish. So I was super excited because I was really excited about this heart, the colors, and the way I turned it into like a little palette heart. And I was really bummed that those letters were coming through. So after I attached the bow down like that, you can see where I just kind of kept the tail long and stretched it out across, and then just took a little tiny dollop of glue after I dovetail the end of these bows, or these tails, and then I got it backwards, so I had to do it again. I took a little piece of glue, oh my gosh, you guys, a little dollop of glue, and it was able to cover up all of that lettering. Whew, that was a close one, right? So I do need y'all's help a little bit here for the end. This is complete, but it's not completely complete. I couldn't decide if it needed florals or not. So this sign is literally not 100% done because I need your input, you guys. I asked my husband and he said no floral because he's just not really a fan of all the floral. Now I definitely eliminated the pink, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to attach the white with that little bit of greenery. So you'll see it with, you'll see it without. Let me know what you think, and then I will definitely let you guys know what I went with in the end. I need your opinion. I can't decide floral or no floral. So let me know in the comments what you think, and then I will either leave it or add the floral. But that is it, you guys. Almost. I took a little bit of Mod Podge and just went over the lettering just to kind of seal them on. They stuck really, really, really well, and I didn't have any fear of them coming off. But just in case, I just went ahead and Mod Podged over them just for a little extra security and completed look. Now that's it, you guys. Here comes the big final reveal on everything that I did today. So I want to thank you guys for coming along with me today. You guys are absolutely amazing and so awesome. I appreciate you guys more than you probably will ever know. Seriously, I never thought that my channel would grow so fast in such a short time, but I am so flattered and my heart is so full of love and just joy, and I could sit here and talk about it for an hour, how just flattered and excited I am, and how much I just love each and every one of you. But you're probably tired of hearing me talk at this point. But anyways, you guys just have to know how much you mean to me. You've been amazing in the comments. I try to respond to each and every one of you. It definitely gets a little bit difficult, but I am doing my best to try to keep up. And I wanted to let you guys know, if you're not already following me over on Instagram, head over there and follow me there. You can always communicate with me there too. My handle is in the description box as always. If you're not on Instagram, I am in the process of setting up a Kind of Crafty Facebook page. So that will be linked in the description box as well. And then my email is always down there too. If you don't have any social media and prefer to email me, you can do that as well. But as always, you can definitely comment here. And like I said, I do my best to get back to you guys as soon as possible. But again, I want to thank you for coming along with me. If you like this video and other videos like this, please give this one a big thumbs up. It has helped my channel grow, and I appreciate it so much. Also, if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you've made it this far, you obviously love what you're seeing, so you might as well stick around and see what else I have coming for you. I'm having so much fun, as always, making all these crafts and DIYs, and I love sharing them with you and that you love them too. Okay guys, I've talked so much in this video today. I'm gonna shut up now and just let you guys enjoy this last little bit of footage of these projects. And don't forget to let me know which one is your favorite in the comments, and I will see you guys real soon with a little bit more of Valentine's Day farmhouse DIY decor. Until then, I hope y'all have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy. I appreciate you, and I will see y'all real soon. Bye guys.
I could stay for hours, and we looked into each other's eyes. Hey, I thought I was Romeo, I was looking for my Juliet. And as soon as I left, I told my friends. Those days made me who I am. When we were younger, we were never running out of time. As long as we had each other, everything was black and white. Driving in a car, never knowing how far we go. When we were younger, oh, when we were younger. As long as we had each other, everything was black and white. When we were younger.